Well, Oran, reflections on that. I mean, ultimately, it finished. It was quite comfortable, but I think Glenavon posed a few problems in the first half.
A huge threat, and to be honest, a frustrating day in relation to. Look, we're on the camera. A huge threat in relation to. I just felt it was exactly the same as the game we won up there on the Friday night, where we come away with a 4-0 clean sheet. But at half time it could have been 4-2 or 4-3 or 3-all that night. I remember it well, and then we scored just before half time, just after half time, and the game was good after that. And today was probably very similar, and I warned the guys in there, and I'll be honest, I was anxious about this game more than I've been about most games in the last month, if you know what I mean. I just was quite anxious all this week because I always say beware the wounded tiger. I just felt they were in a place at the minute where it wasn't a true reflection, that you knew the reaction was going to come sooner or later. And I thought, to be fair to them, in the first half I thought they gave as good as they got, and we get our goal, we still don't look comfortable. The sending off obviously have an impact on it, and then we get the other one before half time, which makes it a little bit easier. But even in the second half, it was probably just one of those days. It was just quite frustrating, and you don't want to be too sore on people, but you also want to make sure we maintain a standard. And I just thought at times we were sloppy, and at times it just wasn't our best performance. But we're in results business, and the key thing for us is it's another clean sheet, which is great, and it's another 3 points.
I was going to say it's a great sign when, by your own admission, your team doesn't play well. Yeah, you win and don't concede. Yeah,
I hope we're honest, and there's weeks when we do play well, I'll stand here and I'll be happy to wax lyrical about how everybody is doing, but I just felt today we weren't just quite there, and I think their first half performance probably had a big part to do that, and you have to give credit to them. I just thought they were really good in the first half. So as I say, we're delighted with the 3 points. It's a big one for us, and one that, as I say, I worried about all week. I'm just glad to get there.
You mentioned the sending off as well. I mean, what was your reading of it? Because we were quite confused about what happened.
Where would you start? I don't know. It's very, very hard to know. James looks like he's striking into the ball. I don't know if it's 2 feet or the soles up or whatever else, but James had 3 stitches in his shin, so he's had just after the game there. So there's a hell of a whack there. So obviously between the referee and the linesman, there's obviously more than enough there to see dangerous play.
Just a word on James, obviously coming back after another injury. It shows what he's all about today again with his goal scoring.
Yeah, I've been keen to get him in, and I've sort of fought with myself over the last 2 or 3 weeks when we've got him back from injury that I've nursed him, and purposely that Dundela was only ever going to be 70. He was always going to be in the bench last Saturday for 30ish, and today ideally I wanted him only really to get 70, and I didn't say to him at half time, but when he had the 2 goals, you were giving him sort of that 20 minutes to try and get the third. But he was coming off 70, whether he liked it or not. In relation to, I just don't think, with the length of time he's been out for, that we want on a pitch that heavy to try and fire 90 into him with possible repercussions. So again, good day at the office for him, and that's just what James does. He scores goals, and today his finishes was.
Should have came in the first one then. There was a bit of where was no goal or not.
He's a striker. He's a striker. It was a great run, and he attacked the ball well. So I think he definitely gets the first. Probably one of those that headers probably going on target anyway. So I'll wait to see it back, but you try and take it off.
And I suppose the question that probably one that's not going to matter too much to you, but I suppose you've been linked with every job under the sun this week.
First I've heard, and listen, that's speculation, and that's all it is at this point in time. As I said, through the week in one interview, I don't have an agent, I don't have anything else saying out there looking for anything, and the news you tell me is news to me more than anything else. So as I said, I worried a lot this week, but I worried a lot about trying to get 3 points today, and I worried a lot about what Gary and them would bring to the table, and probably rightfully so, judging by the first half performance. So for me, just glad to tuck those 3 points away.
Is it not quite flattering? Someone mentioning you in the hat for Northern job.
It's a bit surreal, but it's also, I suppose it's also nice in a way in relation to that at least the work that we're doing here is recognised, and that people are standing up and taking notice of that. So publicity for the club and for us as a whole, any publicity is good publicity.
And then 1 point next week.
Yeah, and again we're just into that same figure where they've had a change of manager. He'll be wanting a reaction. I'm not sure how things have gone today. I don't know any of the results, but again, it'll be one of those where he'll be working week by week to try and get that reaction out of his players. So it was tough the day we won up here against them, and it'll be no different next Saturday. So for us again, ideally we hope the performance is better, but hopefully with the same outcome.
And you were quoted during the week as well that you're coming into a run of games there where people from the outside look in and think it's a relatively straightforward run of games, but that brings its own problems, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and the toughest games in this league they can come from any angle, and that's what I mean. Today, probably people look at that today and say, oh, when they hear there's other Coleraine won 4-0, oh, that's what should have happened today. But when you're here today and watch the game, it was anything like that, if you know what I mean. And next week will be no different. Again, I always say to the lads, it's a clean script, it's a new day. You know, today's history now, and it'll go into the history books. But next week, anything can happen. So it's up to us to make sure that we bring the same to the table to make sure that we can go and get that same performance.
You have a few struggle with injuries, Josh Carson, Stevie O'Donnell.
Yeah, Josh. Well, Stevie's not far away from maybe hopefully getting back to jog now. Josh is just a bang on the foot from last week. Thankfully, no break, a lot of soft tissue damage and a bit of swelling. Adam just opened up the knee with a wee medial strain last week. Was touch and go for today, and then again, we literally made the decision this morning with that overnight rain in the pitch. I thought there's not a chance in hell in putting him out there because it's just a recipe for disaster. Oran Jarvis has been carrying a wee ankle for the last couple of games, and so again, the minute we get the opportunity today to get him off the pitch, we do that, you know, just to try and make sure that we share the load amongst the squad. There's been other ones there like Ian Parkhill has carried a wee ankle for a couple of months really well, but it's one of those you've been using sparingly when you need to use them just to try and make sure that we can get through those good games.